Hi everybody.
Hi.
We are the Kingsways.
Hello, hello.
We're here today. We want to talk to you about a pretty serious subject, which is really not as desperately serious as people tend to think it is.
Yeah, mostly because recently I met a new friend, and she shared with me her story, and at the end of 2020 she lost 2 children. And the children were not 10-year old. It was a young man and full of life, in the middle of his life, on his 30, and the young lady was around 23. And also knowing what's going on in the world right now, with good is evil and evil is good, and so many tragedy, and people die without nothing, for stupidity, for ignorance, for not caring about life.
Mm-hmm.
I find an article from 1957 from our founder
Mm-hmm.
that I would like to share with you.
Yes.
Would you like to read, Robbie?
Okay. So it's called Understanding Death. On the earth, we have parents, teachers, relatives. We have ways to establish such relationships on the earth, but not in the spirit world.
In the spiritual world, everyone lives for the whole, with God at the center. All positions are differentiated. Thus, those in a higher position cannot descend to a lower position, and it's difficult for those in a lower position to go to the higher position. Originally, we were to have gone to the spiritual world only after become complete while on earth. Once we enter that world, there is no returning to the physical world. Everyone is destined to die.
Our life course is too short. Life is too short. Even a lifespan of 80 years is too short. It is not even 8 hours in spirit world time. That is why the power of true love is great. True love transcends time and space and moves at a speed that is beyond our comprehension. And on that topic, actually, I'm moving away from the reading. True love is really the root cause, actually, of the creation, why we were created. God was all alone, and he wanted somebody to love. He wanted to experience true love. So he created us in his image, as the Bible tells us. In other words, he created us as his children. And not just for the sake of living for 80 years on the earth or 100 years on the earth, but to live for eternity with him in true love. So true love is really critical. It's the prime cause of the purpose of creation.
And that's why true love is actually part of God. And God, we as a children, we're supposed to become a little God ourselves in a way that we are able to relate with this spirit of love and learn how to love. Because the foundation and the base of this true love is one of the fundamental law of heaven, that is, living for the sake of others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the love of God, God is our Father, is our parent. And when you are a parent, you really know, if you are a good parent, that you really love your child with the love of God. You really living for his sake. This bud, they really become a full flower, and you as a parent, you are there just to encourage to find his purpose, God's center, and his life.
Yes.
So to be fulfilled and to be happy.
Right.
That's what true love is all about.
Right, absolutely.
You
Let's
have
continue.
to read now?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll continue reading here.
You or me? It's my turn.
Okay, you can read. Go ahead.
Sorry. Without a doubt, spiritual world exists. It surely exists. And since we were born from the spiritual world, we must return there. There is an interesting phrase in Korean, taraganda, mean to go back, but also mean to die. Where do we go back? Going to a cemetery cannot be considered going back. We go back to our place of origin. We didn't start out in a cemetery. The phrase implies that we go back beyond most distant origin of history. it means to return across the vast expanse of history, even beyond its origin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, for a person to go back does not mean that if he is born as a Korean or an Englishman or an Italian, and he goes back as an Italian, although you may be an Italian when you die, this is not a path of going back as an Italian. We go back to the original world of our human ancestors. What does that mean? It means that if there was a creator, we would go back to the place where this creator resides. That is where we came from, so that is where we return. And actually, we finished the reading, but when we go back, we are going back to the original creator who made us. Why did he make us? He made us to love. And we learn to love whilst in the physical world. That is the point of our physical life. We are born, and then we receive love from our mother and from our father. Then as we grow, we learn how to love them back. We learn how to love our siblings. We learn how to love the people around us.
Family.
Then we eventually become a parent,
Yeah.
and we learn to love as a parent. So this whole physical world life is in preparation for the spirit world, for where we will be for eternity, and we are learning to love during our physical life, which gives our physical life so much value, because it's preparing us for an eternity with God.
And of course, as Robert mentioned, that you learn to love in your family. And of course, there is difficulty in a family, but that's what you have to learn to overcome and love unconditionally the unlovable one, the little one, the whatever really is in your case, because so we can kind of redefine our capacity of love.
Mm-hmm.
So we are really thankful for the privilege of your time, and we take in our time to really support your life expansion spiritually, and we really appreciate if you can sometime reply.
With any questions. Also, you can find out a lot more from our books, which you'll see just in a moment at the end of this video.
Yes. So we are really thankful, and until next time.
Yeah, God bless you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.